Dear students of class 8, today we are going to start chapter number 16, the Union Legislature. As we have studied chapter number 1, 2 and 3 in history, so let's start to understand civics. This is an important chapter because this chapter will give an idea about our country and the government. We will also learn how we are governed in India. As we all know that India is the second largest country as far as population is concerned, and it has the biggest democracy in the world. So it is very interesting to study this chapter. Let's start. India is a parliamentary democracy. Parliamentary democracy means that the people elects their representative and the representatives are sent to the parliament. So in the parliament we have the elected members. The people of India choose their representative who form the government both at the center and state levels. So we have uh, state government, we have union government, central government. So we are governed by two powers, first from the center and second from the state. The representatives work through the legislature, the parliament for the center and the state legislature for the state. Students, as the state legislature is responsible for the state and the parliament is responsible for the country, the whole country. The President of India is the head of the state. However, his or her powers are nominal and discharges the duties on the advice of the Prime Minister and his her Council of Ministers. It says that the President of India is the head of our state. He is also considered the first citizen of our country. President of India is considered the first citizen of our country and he is the nominal head. The real head is the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister and his or her Council of Ministers possess the power. The Prime Minister of India is the head of the government and is the person responsible for governing India. So who is responsible for governing India? The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. President acts as acts with the advice of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Three organs of the government. The Indian Constitution divides the power and the functions of the government between its three organs. There are three important organs of the government. You can see that, as we can see, government, legislature formulates laws, executive implements laws which is formulated, judiciary interprets laws. Judiciary has the right to interpret law according to the constitution. Governments at both the center and the state comprise these organs. Means in the center or in the state, both the government has legislature, executive and judiciary. The distribution of the powers between them ensures that there is a balance in the system of governance in India. So there is distribution of powers. The central government and the state government both have got different powers to govern the country. Let's take an example. What kind of government or governance is there in USA? Countries like USA follow the presidential form of government. where the government is led by the president. Means in USA and some other countries, the president is the head of the country, who serves as both the head of the state and the head of the executive. In such a system, the executive is separate from the legislature and is not answerable to it. Means there is a central power and there is a state government also, and both are working very differently. As we have discussed about three organs of the government, the Parliament of India is the legislature for the central government in India. It is a legislature for the central government. What does legislature means? Legislature means that the elected people of the country, means who elects them. People of India elects the people of legislature who forms the central government in India and makes laws for the entire country. And legislature for the central government, they make the law for the entire country, which is implemented in the whole country, in the Indian territory. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, along with the President and the Vice President, form the executive. So, who are there in the executive? The Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, along with the President and the Vice President, form the executive. In parliamentary democracy, the executive and the legislature work very closely. In the parliamentary democracy, what we find, the executive and the legislature, means the elected people of the parliament and the executive, they work with each other. The executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and actions. Who is responsible for the policies and actions? The legislature. The executive is responsible for the policies and actions to the legislature. In state, the state legislature, Vidhan Sabha, that is there in all the states, and the parliament or Lok Sabha, that is there in the capital of the country, is the legislative organ. It is Vidhan Sabha is also a legislative organ, while the Chief Minister, Council of Ministers, and the state governor form the executive. In the state, the Chief Minister, Council of Ministers, and the state governor form the executive. Or in the center, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, along with the President and the Vice President, form the executive. So both works very similarly. Jurisdiction of union and state legislature. The Indian Constitution clearly divides the power of the union, central, and the state government into three lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. The union list contains subjects of national importance. In the union list, we find the subject related to the national importance, on which only the union government can make the law. Only union government is allowed to make the law, which will be under union list. The state list contains subjects of regional importance on which the state government can make the law. Means in the state list, the regional importance will be given more importance, where the state government can make the law. The concurrent list contains issues of both national and regional importance. Means in the concurrent list, there are three types of list. One is union list, second is state list, and third is concurrent list. In concurrent list, both national and the regional importance, which will have both the national and the regional importance, on which both the union and the state legislature can make the laws. However, in the case of conflict over any law made on subject under the concurrent list, if suppose in the concurrent list, if there is any subject and if there is any conflict, means issues, the union law will prevail upon the state law, means which will be more valuable, the union law will be more valuable. So as we can see here, the union list: defense, foreign affairs, currency, war and peace, atomic energy, national resources, railways, post and telegraph, citizenship. All these are in the union list, where only union, where the central government can make the law. State list: police, law and order, public health and sanitation, hospitals and dispensaries, libraries, agriculture, water supply, irrigation canals, fisheries, state roads. These are in the state list. There are 66 subjects, and in the union list there are 97 subjects. In this, only the state government can make the law, and here only the union government can make the law. And in this list, concurrent list, 47 subjects like education, electricity, criminal and civil laws, and procedures, marriage and divorce, all these are in the concurrent list, where the union government and the state government both can make the laws. So students, we will continue union parliament in the next video. We will do the exercise now. As I always promise to all of you that I will tell you the answers also of the exercise. So let's do the first one. Fill in the blanks. India has a parliamentary form of government that we have studied. The President of India is the head of the state. There are three organs of the government. The judiciary interprets laws. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers form the executive. Match the following: head of the state, President; head of the government, Prime Minister; presiding officer of Lok Sabha, Speaker; organs of the government that interprets laws, judiciary; presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, Vice President. Choose the correct answer. Maximum strength of the Lok Sabha is 552 members. 552 members. The executive organ of the government implements laws. The term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. This is very simple question. Everybody knows it. The minimum age for becoming a member of Rajya Sabha is 30 years. The presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha is as we have studied here, presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha is Vice President. So Vice President will be the answer. So students, we have done A, B and C. In the next video, we will do answer the following question in brief. So do not miss any of the videos. Please watch all the videos. Every video will bring something for you. You will be benefited. We all want you to be benefited. We all want you to be safe, and we all want you to be studying. Thank you so much for listening this video. Take care of yourself.